Thinking about all those shots that he's blocked, all the shots that he's altered. Pretty crazy. And then what he does on the offensive side.
Yeah. Still one more award he can win, possibly.
There definitely is. He's in the mix for that MVP award. Scoot Henderson had himself a game, part of a Blazers 11-0 run. A little bit later in this first quarter, Scoot, 19 in the first half, guys.
He's playing well, man. Well deserved, man. He's had a rough early part of his career.
It's good to see him have some success, especially in the playoffs.
Yeah.
There's your defensive player of the year. Nothing like being able to block a shot with a 1-inch vertical on that. It's specific.
Yeah, I don't know what Jeremy Grant was thinking right there.
In the corner, Castle. Spurs cutting the deficit to 2. A little bit later, guys, Wemby, this is where it gets really scary for the defensive player of the year. His face hit the floor very hard. You can see kind of losing his balance. After a minute or two, was able to stand up, and then he just went right back into the locker room. Did not return concussion protocol. We'll talk more about that in just a minute. And I know we're going to hear from Coach Johnson about this in just a few moments' time. That's another big move. Castle. Kind of feel like this team still's got the moxie, though, to try to get this thing done without their big fella. Really talented roster, but
Sure.
Tell you what, Blazers came to play in this one. Champagne.
Hell of a pass.
An amazing pass.
Castle with that dime. Guys, we're still before halftime. That's how back and forth this game was. Advia.
That got to be his move, a little slow.
Looks like it.
Slow step.
Blazers down 3. De'Aaron Fox, guys. Bucket using the glass. Spurs little burst for them. 7-0 run. About 30 seconds to go in the third quarter. Henderson.
Going to have a night.
Yes, he was. Henderson, 5 of 9 from 3 in this one. Dylan Harper with his team down 1. Check it, up 1.
Good shot for the rookie.
Fourth quarter now. Spurs trying to figure out a way to pull away.
Good there.
Yes, up by 6. So with the jumper. Castle with the finish here. They're up 11. And at this point, you start thinking, all right, maybe this Avalanche, here we go. It's too much of San Antonio. Trying to pour it on here.
Yes, they had one. They had 13 at this point.
Yes, it was.
Thinking the game's over. Oh, my goodness.
By the way, for context, with 8.5 to go, they were up by 14, guys. So you feel like, hey, maybe the Blazers.
He's hitting that.
Not going to roll over. Yes, he is.
He's hitting that. It's going to be a long night for anybody.
Very next possession. On the move. Into the corner.
Look at Drew Holiday. Do everything right.
Yes. Cleanup from Holiday in this one. Put him up by 1. 20 seconds to go, guys. Advia starts making his move. How about the stop?
Hey.
And they got to finish the and 1.
That was nice.
Yes, it was.
Robert Williams, right place, right time.
Stay ready. Hey, got to get ready.
So you can see why this Blazers team was fired up. They're up by 3. Another opportunity here for San Antonio. Can't get the 3 ball to fall down.
He made
Cash.
How about the run for Portland? 27-10 to close this game, guys. I mean, it's just, the fight was there. The grit was there. We talked about it earlier on the association. When Wemby went down, you guys said, this is a must-win for the Blazers. Got to try to steal this one without Wemby out on the floor. That's exactly what happened. Biggest reason, Scoot Henderson, from the Blazers' perspective, here he is when it's over.
You all were down 14 in that fourth quarter, and you rallied. What allowed you all to make timely plays when it mattered most?
Game and run. Basketball is a game and run. Basketball guys, they always going to repay the ones that play the game right, and that's what it is, a game and run.
We talked pregame, and you mentioned the word confidence to me. Despite these being your first few playoff games of your career, you finished with 31 points. How'd that confidence help you tonight?
I'm always confident, so it's just up to the work I put in. You know, if you don't put the work in, there's no way you can be confident. So, yeah, that's me.
What do you think of the way that your team came out different tonight? What was different about this Blazers team compared to Sunday?
Just being aggressive, man. Just being aggressive. on both sides of the floor, like we talked about earlier, being aggressive on offense and defense, taking the punch to them, and they're going to punch back. Obviously, it's the playoffs, so we got to be able to kind of weave it and hit right back.
Underdogs all season long. Series is tied 1-1. How do you feel about that, going back to Portland?
Man, we got to get this next one. Got to get these next two. Shout out Rich City.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Sean Hike and Rose Garden Report. Scoot, I mean, I guess just, what was going well for you tonight?
I think just being aggressive on both sides of the ball. As a team, as a unit, I think that was our goal, to be aggressive, hit everybody that comes through the paint, box out, and play fast. I think that was all of our success, and that kind of opened the floor for all of us.
Bill Oram with the Oregonian. Scoot, what was your mindset coming into this game, and what did you learn from game one that you were able to apply here tonight?
Same mindset every game, go out and kill whoever's in my way. But I think the adjustment that I made was to just play faster and shoot the open ones. And I think that kind of opens up the floor for everybody else. That opens the floor for Denny to attack. They're sending two at him sometimes. So just making the game easier for everybody else.
Scoot, you and Victor, obviously, you're somewhat linked historically because we all saw you in Vegas when you were in high school and he was coming over here. A lot of people have kind of hadn't kept track of where you were just because of the injuries. You haven't been able to play as much. Can you sort of just talk about your journey and getting to a night like this and then having a game here in San Antonio against Victor?
Oh, man. Talking about my journey, I just got to give it up to the man above. And also myself for remaining faithful and him, and knowing that nothing he does will be bad for me. Everything he does is for the better, and I just believe in that solely. And my family is there to always pick me up whenever I feel even a little bit of down. And then back to it, just the work I put in. I work really hard, man, and for it to show on a big stage like this for one day, and it just feels great. It feels great, But at the end of the day, man, it's up to the man above, and I'm so thankful that I serve a God that is so good to me.
Scoot, obviously, it's never good when you see a player go out of the game with an injury or in this case a concussion. But what did it do to your guys' mindset when you realized he was going to be out of the game? That creates an opportunity where he's not on the floor. How did that impact you guys?
Man. First of all, just pray for him. Hope he's good, because you never want, as a competitor, you don't.
Victor's in concussion protocol, but is he being examined for anything beyond that?
No.
Did he have to go to the hospital, or was he x-rayed here?
I don't believe any of that. I just know he has a concussion and he's in the protocol, and we'll obviously take the proper and appropriate steps.
How's Harrison?
I think he's okay. I think it was more maybe wind, but I didn't get the full messaging on all what happened there. I couldn't tell if he was holding his hand or his chest, but he said he needed a sub.
Coach, in terms of the defensive game plan without Wemby, obviously he's such a huge part of what you guys do on both ends of the floor, but defensively, how do you guys plan to just, obviously tonight you went small, some you had Lukin, but how do you guys overall plan to adjust without Wemby if he has to miss some time?
Yeah, we've played without Victor this year. And you look at the numbers in terms of, they shot 42.2% from the field, 34 from three, and got 23 free throws. That's not bad when you're just talking about a defensive effort. They got 24 points off our turnovers, and they got 23 second chance points. So those would probably be the two areas I'd start with. And still scored 106 points. We didn't give up 150 or anything like that. I thought the guys actually fought their butts off, did a really good job. Obviously some things we can get short up on and be better at in terms of closing out possessions and then having some cleaner offense, so it allows us to set our half-court defense.
There were also a few good moments where you guys played with I think 4 guards with Devin, Dylan, and the other guys. In terms of like the speed and attention to detail, how important was it to see those guys perform at that level? And do you expect to play more of that in the coming days?
Yeah, I thought they did a good job. We had some combinations out there that were a little unique, I guess, in terms of foul trouble, and then obviously having different rotation and trying to keep guys fresh. Portland really forces you to output a lot of energy, and so I thought it was important to try our best to kind of keep guys fresh and keep spinning them because of the toll of output energy that took to deal with the pressure, try to rebound, guard, and rebound again. And that's something, I could probably be better in next game. But I thought they did a good job, and I thought when we played with pace and, the right connectivity in terms of game plan execution, we did a nice job.
Yeah, Coach, obviously difficult to deal with a mid-game injury, but when you compare the way they played to start the game 1 versus tonight, did you notice anything different? Did they settle in right away when we're talking about nerves and playoffs and things like that?
Are you talking about Portland or us?
You guys.
I thought we were a little, to be honest, actually in a way not as poised as we were in game 1. I felt like the game 1 was as much the energy of the building and the circumstances, and I thought tonight we weren't quite as sharp to start the game. And they made some shots, but it just felt a little not on the same page, I guess, and unorganized, and we'll be better in game 3.
Coach, this is Carolina with Spurfict. I wanted to get your thoughts on the jump ball at the end of the game. And earlier this season, you mentioned there was things that the team can control. So what kind of communication helps everyone stay aligned when things start to feel like they're getting a bit out of control?
Yeah, I definitely know I showed some emotion and frustration there because I felt like they blew the whistle on the catch.
All right, so Coach Johnson confirming concussion for Wemby. We'll discuss that coming up in just a bit, but from an NBA perspective, game number 2, Blazers take it, Scoot Henderson, 31